Hi, hello. I'm Dr. Uma Lakshmi Premnath, consultant medical gastroenterologist at Mehta Hospitals. Today I'll be talking about the role of endoscopy in our life. So what is endoscopy? Endoscopy just provides a magnified view of our insides of our gastrointestinal tract. Basically, our GI tract, that's the gastrointestinal tract, can be divided into mouth, the oral cavity, the esophagus, the stomach, then the bowel, the small bowel as well as the large bowel, and the anal canal. So by doing an endoscopy, the initial part, that is up to the small bowel, the initial part of the small bowel, precisely speaking to the D2, that is the second part of the duodenum, can be easily accessible. Then you have colonoscopy, that is from below, from our anal canal, the rectum, the large bowel, up to the terminal ileum, that is the distal part of the small intestine. This is also accessible. There is an intervening small area which may not be accessible by endoscopy alone. For that, we have another investigation called as a capsule endoscopy. In capsule endoscopy, the patient is made to just swallow a capsule, and wherever this capsule moves, it has been recorded. The pictures or the images have been taken and they can be analyzed later. So our entire GI tract can be screened. Now, endoscopy. Why do we need an endoscopy? What is the need for an endoscopy in our practice, and when do we need it? When you have symptoms like abdominal bloat, some people come with symptoms like whenever they have food, if you have a bloating sensation, or they're not able to eat like what they were used to do previously. That's a very common symptom. Then a patient is having constant abdominal pain. Any abdominal pain, upper abdominal pain particularly, for beyond a certain period and not responding to medication. Or the presence of any vomiting. When a patient gives a history of vomiting consistently and cause is not known, causing alarming symptoms like loss of weight or his appetite loss, all this are alarm symptoms, and definitely that is an indication for endoscopy. And these symptoms in a patient who is above 55 years, we should not wait for medication. We have to immediately go for an endoscopy. So this is when we have to do an endoscopy. Now, what are the things which you can discover by an endoscopy? Beginning from our esophagus, the presence of esophageal ulcers, the presence of any esophagitis, that is in patients who have heartburn, regurgitation, they may have erosions or inflammation of the esophagus. That can be figured out by endoscopy. The presence of gastric ulcers, stomach ulcers in the form of gastric as well as the duodenal ulcers, small bowel ulcers, all this can be found out by endoscopy. Why do we need to find out all this? Because the treatment is different for each cause. The nature of the ulcer is also different. Ulcers can either be benign ulcers or it could be a cancer-causing ulcer. The benign ulcer itself, we have to find out. Like for example, H. pylori, that is a bacterium which is commonly found in our environment, in our food and water. That itself can cause a gastric ulcer. And hence, the treatment for that needs to be initiated as soon as possible, because H. pylori, if it is not treated, that bacterium, if it is not treated in the initial stages, it can persist and go on to form even malignancy in later life. So to find out any of these lesions, we have to do an endoscopy. Then especially these lesions, all of them can present with anemia. The presence of any anemia itself is definitely indicated in all these conditions. The next is colonoscopy. Colonoscopy is imaging of the lower GI tract, that is from the distal ileum to your entire colon up to your anal canal. So what are the indications why you have to do a lower GI colonoscopy? Common indications what we encounter are when you have a chronic diarrhea. Chronic diarrhea which is not responding to medication, for which cause has not been found out, we have to go for a colonoscopy. Then constipation. Constipation is very important. At least a sigmoidoscopy, that is the distal part of the large bowel, has to be seen. So at least that is indicated in constipation. Then the presence of passage of bleeding per rectum, the presence of any hemorrhoids is also an indication for colonoscopy. Now, endoscopy and colonoscopy, other than just finding out diseases, there are other uses also. It's called as a therapeutic uses, which means what are the procedures you can do. Common procedures what we do by endoscopy are, when a patient has a polyp, we have to take a biopsy from the polyp, and in case the biopsy turns out to be something dangerous, we might even have to remove the polyp. So that is done by an endoscopy or a colonoscopy if it is in these accessible areas. Then banding. Banding, that is esophageal banding. What do we band out here? We are banding the dilated blood vessels, the widened blood vessels which are commonly encountered in a patient who has a liver disease. We have to band them so that the patient may not bleed. So that is another procedure. Then patients who have taken acid and all in previous, when those who have a previous history of any acid intake or any corrosive, later on they may form strictures, and the patient may finally present with complaints like difficulty in swallowing. There also we have to dilate so that the passage is enough for the food to pass through. So there is a stricture dilatation which is done. So these are the common procedures what we do. You have a stricture dilatation, you have banding, we can do a polypectomy, then even there are certain procedures like an organ plasma coagulation, APC it is called. That's a kind of a cautery which is done to certain areas and certain conditions. That's also a commonly used procedure.